We're back on. Apologies, folks. That's the one thing TNTech need to fix, right? But that's a 5 to 10 second outage, and the end result is, yeah, flow taking forever and a day just for the system to reboot. Maybe I should look at changing my internet provider. I'll probably do that. They lost my train of thought, all kind of thing. But anyway, what's the time now? 8 o'clock? Right. So I should probably wrap up to take the calls now, right? But I was just making the point. This latest development with respect to Moody's is not good news for the UNC. Well, see, if they were ready for country, they would talk about it. If they were ready for country, they would make some mention of it. Applaud the government's handling of the economy. But no, we can't do that, especially in elections. You're mad. But just about 1 month to go for a local election, we are going to come and praise the government for something we've been criticizing them for the last 8 years. But I make the point. I would have read for you all Moody's downgrade in 2015, May of 2015, right? It's interesting. The definition of recession, well, the more classical definition is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. When Moody's downgraded them in 2015, Larry Howard took issue with the downgrade. He found that it was unfair and whatnot and stuff. But Moody's gave their rationale and the reasons for why they would have downgraded. Nevertheless, right? We were told then, well, there's nothing to worry about. Trinidad and Tobago, notwithstanding the fall in the price of oil, Trinidad and Tobago is a gas-based economy. Hawaii tell us that. Kamla tell us that. Kevin Ramnarine told us that. Don't worry, we are gas-based. Despite the fact that you had all the curtailments that were taking place between 2011 to 2013, when the Point Lisas Energy Association wrote to Mr. Ramnarine complaining about the gas curtailment issues. And what Mr. Ramnarine told us, well, don't worry, it's because of the major plants doing routine maintenance. For 2 years, the first letter that was sent, according to an article that was published in the Sunshine newspaper in 2013, that the first letter was ignored, right? Largely ignored, prompting the Point Lisas Energy Association to send another letter 2 years later, again, complaining about the gas curtailment issues, indicating to the government in no uncertain terms, say what now? If Ole can't provide the gas, we have no problem packing up and leaving, because there are other provinces, there are other countries that we could go to where gas supply is not an issue. Right? We're doing Ole a favor by staying here. But it is no problem for us to pack up and leave. So you all need to get your act together. In the space of that 2 years, in which that letter was largely ignored, 8 firms lost, I believe, over $10 billion in revenue. The government lost tax revenue as a result of the incompetence of that administration to treat with the issue. You know why? Because they were more concerned about spending money to appeal to the voter base, and it didn't help them. That is why their string of losses, Kamla Persad-Bissessa's unprecedented record of losses started in 2013 with the THA election where they got whitewashed, 12-0, right? Not a damn seat for the other side, 12-0, but they want to come and talk now about 14-1 and think, yeah, 12-0. The other side got nothing, despite all the money they spent in Tobago. That's probably the only, well, Kamla Persad-Bissessa, when she was the most time she spent in Tobago was when she was Prime Minister. For that election, she went to Tobago to try and campaign to help out Ashworth. It didn't help him, right? She was a blight. Lost all. The blight that she has been suffering for the last 10 years, Ashworth got a taste of that blight. And win a damn seat, right? And then she loved to have retreats in Tobago. Whenever Keith Rowley needs to have a retreat with his cabinet, he has it right at the diplomatic center there. Well, you come. We set up some tables, everybody sit around, the whole cabinet, right? We order some food, we get the food or whatever prepared, and we will eat here. We're not going to no hotel to spend taxpayers' money for everybody to shack up in room in Cocoa Reef and the Magdalena and wherever else to have a good time for 2 to 3 days, as was the norm under them, right? Every time they know about having retreat in Trinidad. The Diplomatic Center, the same one that Keith Rowley uses today, it was available. We have the Hyatt in Trinidad. That wasn't good enough. We need to spend money to go across to Tobago, so we had to pay airfare, right? And then we had to spend money because it's a weekend retreat, 2 to 3 days. So hotel accommodation for everybody. We have to pay the hotel to provide meals and all of these different things. And they're going to the best of the best. Yeah, the most expensive. They love Cocoa Reef. But Keith Rowley wasting money. Who really wasted the money? Who really wasted the money? You see, we forget all these things. The last retreat they had in Tobago was when Stacey Rupnaraine got she throat bus. After she complained on her boss, Suraj, throat bus. You remember that? Under them. But they want to come and talk to you about the economy. And I listened to this lady. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I understand they paid, now they're broadcasting their meeting on TV6. I think TV6 carried Mrs. Prasad-Bissessa's speech last night. Where they get money for that? Which financier is spending that money for them to do that? Right? So now they realize, well, Rowley and TTT, well, we need to be on TV6. Nobody wants to hear that. They sideline Barry. Since he called Dr. Rowley the lazy SOB, and they get a letter from TAT, my understanding is that Jagriti TV tell them, as long as all airing on our station, we don't want Barry. Right? Now you even seeing, you even hearing Barry. Krokro song is about he, but I'll play it for you all at another time. Right? Krokro not easy. But just to make the point, Trinidad and Tobago, this is what they come in with. And before I open the line, I need to touch on one thing. This man that they call Wall Street, right? Fall Street, wherever it is, Anselm LeBon. I see he has now jumped on the bandwagon, but he was on the bandwagon all the time. But now he's prosecuting it a little more. This claim from the UNC that the PNM don't do nothing for black people, and the PNM takes advantage of black people. I see he puts out a post. I don't really want to promote him, but suffice it to say, just let me get this here. Because what concerns me is when he puts out this trash, people actually sharing it. Where is it? He refers now to Dr. Rowley as Dr. Chaos. Trinbagodian's back transfer. No, that's not it. See, now we are attacking Juliet too. Okay, well, Juliet can handle her own stories. Let me see if I find this here, folks. There was a video that he did, and he refers to the PNM supporters as HDD, hypocritical, deceitful, and disingenuous. Where is it? Where is it? I know he didn't take it down. Right. He says, "Dear black supporters of the PNM, I write this message to urge you to stand up for your rights and challenge the status quo. It is essential to reflect on the relationship between the PNM and its impact on your community. And while it may be true that you have consistently supported the party in past elections, it is crucial to assess whether they have truly served your best interests. Remember your circumstances." He liked to give us a quote. "This time, the time has come to demand accountability and to ensure that your voice is heard within the PNM and in the political landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. It is vital to critically analyze the actions and policies of the PNM. Ensuring that they are not perpetuating self-oppression or neglecting the interests of the black community. I encourage you to evaluate the economic development, empowerment, and inclusion initiatives undertaken by the PNM. Consider whether they have prioritized the advancement of black people and black-owned businesses. By holding the PNM accountable and demanding concrete actions, you can help create positive change for yourselves and your community." You see, this is the same nonsense that Anil Roberts and Kamla Prasad-Bissessa and the rest of them pushing. That the PNM don't do nothing for black people. And African people, all they do, withhold all their vote from the PNM, don't support the PNM because they ain't doing nothing for all year. And it's only the 1% that benefiting, and it's only the East Indians that benefiting to the expense of the black man and the African man. Kamla Prasad-Bissessa come with her nonsense. You see, all they giving all is 10 days. CPEP, minimum wage. But Rowley give Ajudas 500,000. Dr. Rowley did that? I didn't see Dr. Rowley name on any check. How Rowley come into that? Yeah, but he gave 500,000 to Ajudas. And they didn't care about the poor people, and they didn't care about black people, and everything is black people and black people, right? Let me read something for you, right? From Professor. He used to go by the name Professor Wall Street at one time. Went back in the day when we were on Sunshine Hour, and he used to call in the radio, and he's identified himself as Professor Wall Street. Now you drop the professor, and he's just Wall Street. But I understand he's an adjunct professor at Seton College. Let me read for you all some of the. Yes, no, let me get to there. Right. So let me read for you all some of the reviews from Mr. Anselm LeBon, better known as Wall Street students, persons who have attended his classes, right? Let me read it here for you all. Let me get this here. So this person says, I don't have the name here, but it says here, for credit, yes. Attendance, mandatory. Would take again? No. Grade, B+. Textbook, no. I did not enjoy his class at all. I would not recommend it. Another one says, for credit, yes. Attendance, mandatory. Would take again? No. Not sure yet. For grade, textbook, no. He will assign you to a group that you will work with for the full semester. When you present, he will, for a fact, pick on every little thing that he thinks is wrong with it and make you explain to him in front of the entire class why you did it wrong. I've seen students get very upset and uncomfortable during their presentation, and he doesn't care at all. This is person's reading Mr. Wall Street here, right? We're going again. Just now. I don't know if it's just that my class was different, but I thoroughly enjoyed Professor LeBon. Yes, his lectures are boring, and yes, group projects aren't great, but he's a great guy, and I honestly didn't ever mind going to class. Take your test with essays, and the answers are literally in the test itself. Also, no homework at all. Another person says, he gives very unclear guidelines for group projects, nitpicks presentations, and criticizes students for small mistakes in front of the whole class. Lectures are just him reading off of the slides and students repeating definitions back to him. He is very annoying. Another one says, currently in class, and we spent the entire day talking about veganism, Netflix documentaries, and other unrelated topics to the class. It was the best class I've ever been a part of. LeBon is the man, right? Nothing, you ain't talk nothing about the class. Currently in class, we spend the entire day talking about veganism, Netflix documentaries, and other unrelated topics to the class. Another one says, let me see it here. I just want to warn everyone before you register for LeBon. Do not think this is an easy A class. His lectures can be humorous at times, but it wasn't worth my GPA. Be ready to study and always ask him for clarification. He is not clear whatsoever on what he wants. Outside of his class, he's a cool guy, but in class, he can be very irritating. Another one says, do not be fooled by his easygoing humor. He quickly switches it up to yell at the class, roast your group project, and give you Fs on exams. His directions for the global business plan are super unclear. Hint, back up every part of your presentation with numbers, even with sections like social benefits and traditions. That's what he wants. Another one says, LeBon is a nice guy and well-respected track and field athlete, but he is a horrible teacher. Very confrontational to students when receiving any sort of negative feedback. His grading is absurdly unclear, and minimal direction is given for projects. But he will tell you that he is making it perfectly clear if you tell him that. Save yourself the frustration. Another one says he gives you very unclear directions on projects and humiliates you in front of the class if you make a mistake in a presentation. He claims to make the class a democracy, but he is extremely stubborn and refuses to listen to anybody who questions him. His grading makes no sense and will take off a lot of points for one little mistake. Do not take this class. So it seems there's a general consensus that he's a pain in the, yes, irritating, annoying, and clearly he's not a very good professor at all, because the general recommendation here is don't take his class. It is not recommended. He likes to call Dr. Rowley a dictator, but based on what we just read there, that class in Hano Democracy, he liked to embarrass people. Kill him dead, he's the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, but the ratings, you're not getting good ratings. I just reading what is there, right? I didn't make that up. That is just some of the reviews given by some of his students. He's irritating. That's what they said. Waste of time. Don't take that class. But you want to come and lecture Dr. Rowley about how to govern this country all because you totin, because you ain't get the building. Dr. Rowley came into New York and you rent a Mercedes to carry him around, and he came to your home and you offered him the best alcohol and the best cutlery and the best food and the best of everything. And that was what supposed to be an inducement for you to get the building. Dr. Rowley is a fool for him to end up before the Integrity Commission. You don't understand how them things does work. You're a professor, and you're so bright. But want to come now and gaslight and persons of African descent to tell them to bother to vote for the PNM because they don't do enough for black people? Really? What did Kamla Persad-Bissessar do? Other than color me orange? Other than $69 a day, baby grant, food card, CPEP, URP, what else did she do? Instead of offering them handouts, what were the handouts that she offered? The PNM has a number of programs in place. They intend to restart the youth camps and the Civilian Conservation Corps and all of these different things that the UNC shut down. That Kamla Persad-Bissessar and her government shut down. While they were giving away lands at peppercorn rates in Chagaramas to the so-called 1% to make them richer. Was she making the poor richer? You see, her supporters seem to forget about that. They're not ready for that conversation. Being a talk about that, which in the manifesto they indicate, put them back in 2025, and they will continue what they started in Chagaramas, giving away lands. Tell me, the Guave Road farmers, the black Guave Road farmers, Wall Street, the African farmers in Guave Road, who had been there for over 50 years and had all of the crops ready for harvest, and they bring in backhoe, bulldoze all the people's crop and heap it up in a corner and tell them, well, they could go and sift through and see what all they could salvage. This land is to build a car park for 1,000 cars for persons who come in town to patronize the water park. We couldn't care about all you. We didn't care that you all were there for 50 years. When Richie and those guys came on the 919 studio and cried because of what was being done to them, when thousands of people in this country marched from Chagaramas to the waterfront to protest that, you didn't care then about the African man. You didn't have any concern then about black people and what was being done to those African persons down there. But today you want to come and tell Africans, examine what the PNM giving them. You can lead a horse to water, you can't force it to drink. If there are opportunities and they're not taken to 166 young people between the ages of 18 to 35 just graduated the first cohort of the Homestead program, a one-year course that they did in UE on agriculture. So it's now for them to get their starter home, the 2-acre plot, and the $20,000 to start the agro business. Every time we talk diversification, it's always about agriculture and agriculture. But we now have 166 persons, thanks to this government, who are trained in agriculture and who will now be provided with the facilities to become entrepreneurs, business owners, employers, not employees. That's Kamla Persad-Bissessar created. We created 55,000 jobs. Rowley's about creating entrepreneurs, business owners, right? People who could hire more people like them, train them, and help them to start their own business. Could you point to any project that Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the People's Partnership put in place to do that very same thing? Help me now, please. Help me. Go to the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service and see all of the different projects and programs that they continue to roll out. That has been the focus, the young people, instead of them sitting down on the block and instead of them being a pool of human resource for the drug pusher and the man who had the guns and want them to go and put on work. The government is creating opportunities for them. A cohort of 100 and something persons just the other day graduated from the Civilian Conservation Corps in a variety of different fields. All of them now equipped with skills to make them entrepreneurs that they could go and work for themselves. Or at least if they have to look for a job, they have a greater skill set now than they did before. Perhaps if Mrs. Persad-Bissessar had not shut down that facility, we would have had less persons today involved in a life of crime. Because when we look at the age groupings of between 14 to 29, right? 14 to 29. 13 years ago, The 14-year-old was 1. 13 years ago, the 29-year-old was 16. Right? The 25-year-old and the 20-year-old. Perhaps if back then they had these opportunities that they have today, they wouldn't have ended up in a life of crime. But you wouldn't come and promote that. All you're doing is making a set of YouTube videos and a bunch of fools sharing it, calling Dr. Rowley a liar and all kind of thing because you told him because you didn't get the building. What the hell with you? You could tote all you want from now till next week. Dr. Rowley have no time with you. The building gone and it will be replaced by something better. And if you ain't like that, you could stew in your fat and you could make room in your head for Dr. Rowley to live in yours too. You and Gary could form a support group. A support group, yes. Rowley Anonymous. Hi, my name is Anselm, and Rowley lives in my head rent-free. Hi, Anselm. Hi, my name is Gary, and Rowley lives in my head rent-free. Hi, Gary. Or could start it at 2 earlier. Or could get Kamla to join that group too. Hi, my name is Kamla, and Rowley lives in my head rent-free. There are plenty earlier walking around who need to join that support group. Because Rowley definitely need help. 770-1763. So let's see this thing here. Let's try to get this thing to connect here. Yes. So why is this thing taking so long to connect? I don't understand. Right, we're cooking with gas. 770-1763. Had a little technical issue. Yes, Dull Street will back and lie for anybody. Example, Karen, yes, Kamla and Fali. Fali, who he considers to be a transformational leader. But he had nothing to say about AudioGate. That's now, hold one sec there. Yes, yes, sir, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Romain, man.
Morning.
Good morning to the listeners and the viewers of debunking and facts. Mr. Facts, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Well, I know it's unfortunate what transpired just now because people was a bit concerned, but Dominic, I think something to be put in place in eventuality with these
yes,
short circuit now because that's kind of deter people from the actual the juice, the meat of the information.
Correct.
Right? But nevertheless, at least the backup are running so people will still get the information out there.
Yes.
This individual called False Teeth, right? He have an grievance with Dr. Rowley inception, right? Because he find that he should have get what he wanted, and Dr. Rowley tell him, hey, it operates so. You understand? So you decide now to have people who look like you and me creating TikTok videos to denigrate the Prime Minister.
Yes.
You think the Indian, the UNC supporters doing that to the leader? Despite the opposition leader who could spend 100 million them in studying that, all them seeing, she look like we go vote she in still. The Africans in the UNC party denigrating the Prime Minister, but they're not seeing the East Indian Independent Party denigrating the opposition leader. That alone speaks volume. But then again, what you expect from a fake professor who just always deal himself as a so-called professor of what? You understand? A professor of dictatorship. You understand? I know what I'm like. It's people like them so. Before all else to elevate your own black people, the African people in the country, or they rather put a spoke between the African people and the Prime Minister, who's a black man like yourself. And then the same thing Juliet was talking yesterday. This one down in South in Point 14. Oh, you ain't voting because I don't vote for anybody else other than the PNM. So in other words, you don't care who running the affairs. What is not PNM? So that is level we reach in this country, that although put anybody else to run the affairs of the country, but if it's a pick-up side, if it's only in really business, once it's not PNM and Dr. Rowley, because they don't care about people, they don't care about poor people in the country. But Kamala did in 2010, when she have 9,000 African people in the country, and said, lock them up, and we will get the evidence later on. Yeah, but you see, history will repeat itself if we don't learn from our mistakes. And this election in 2023 is a writing and a warning and a signal to the people in this country. It's either I for country or I for party and gimme syndrome. So people, the choice is yours. You have to decide what you want in this country. If it's betterment or for worse. Dominic Lockton.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, but I want the UNC and the haters of Trinidad and Tobago, because the leader told them, Kamala Persad told them, put country first, and they're doing it. They're following instructions. So I want them to follow the instructions of Kamala Persad and keep talking Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm going to tell you why I want them to continue doing it. I don't want them to stop. Kamala said the price of flour raised, and they raised the price of, the price of flour drop.
Yes.
You tell things hard, and the country this and that and nothing. You know, Moody's retweet, you pull you out from negative to positive, and let me tell you how that worked. While she had us in negative in 2015, because obviously, if the central bank governor could come out openly and said that there's no money to pay public servants and all these things, while she was there, we supposed to be real good and happy. Everybody was happy like puppy. We had everything on we paid while she was there. So no money to pay public servants. That means that police, doctors, you know, all these people in administration works, that everybody, CPEP, dude, whoever it is. No money to pay none of all you. And we were in negative. A couple of years right after that, Moody's grade us a blippy grade and put us, we had no balance. And now we get a positive growth.
Yep. But
they want to tell me and you that under Kamala thing was nice. Rowley wicked, they can't get that. You don't like black people, we don't like black people. But when Kamala come inside it, poor Malcolm Jones and Ken Julian and them fellas and them, they are nothing against the man.
Yes.
Right? And they went after Malcolm Jones. On the platform, all that money, Malcolm Jones and them the thief. But when they get him now, it wasn't about thieving, it's about the plan, the GTL plan. That the money spent thing. So Malcolm Jones at fault, right? They're going behind Malcolm Jones. Senior counsel, self-judgment, both of them, We know that, I know that, like the ICABC thing. You know, you don't have to be a lawyer to know that if you're going to the board, you have to go after, because as I keep telling them, and the union leaders, and them, because when they keep blaming Malcolm Jones, I ask them who was the project manager.
Yes.
And who was those people, and then, because when them sit down to make decisions in a room, they make the decisions with the help of these people there, because they would know Malcolm Jones is the scientist and know how to get the plant, what this is what needs to put up. They have to get the people who is versed in building the plant, putting on the equipment, thing, all these other things. Malcolm Jones don't do that. So how could you blame Malcolm Jones alone? And then what about Malcolm Jones and put into place like Point Lisas and them that have been on this platform? And they like to say 60-something years of PNM and this country, nothing happened. Like all these things just appear out of nowhere. You know, it just happened. I mean, we just hear some of the most stupidest thing that is thing is. So I would like to tell people, don't as Dr. Rowley says. Dr. Rowley said, they say all kind of thing about him, and he really don't bother with that. He actually tell us that. He say, well, don't worry with that. Allow them to talk, let them talk. Because here what's going on. Some world leaders came here just recently, and it reminded me of when we had Chogam. Right? It's just a smaller scale version of Chogam, but it was 50% more effective than Chogam. And I'll tell you why, because here it is that CARICOM and all these people beginning to lobby, and they have Dr. Rowley in front. You know why they have Dr. Rowley in front? Let me tell you why they have Dr. Rowley in front. Dr. Rowley, I don't know how this man did that. But after 2015, with the sweetheart deal that Kamla Prasad-Bissessar gave to BP, Dr. Rowley was, because when they was looking for money, you remember Imbert said that they went to the BP CEO down here, that sits in the office here, and asked them to give and he said, well, there's no money for you to get. We have a sign on the dotted line thing here, and I think so. Dr. Rowley explained him, he said, well, this is why bipartite winning, you know. Well, I would like to help you, but I don't make that decision. So what made you think, all right, you had to go into England and talk to BP. So Dr. Rowley will take his team, well organized a real thing, and sit down and talk to them fellas in BP. The CEO boss in BP in England, he went and talked to the thing there. He said, well, you know, I agree with it, but, you know, and I'm willing to think about this final signing off of this contract or whatever thing have to be done by the major shareholders. This is Shell. So you had to fly to United States and sit down there and think, because here this is what I discussed with thing here. This way they would have, all of them would have sat down in their boardroom and they discussed it. And what Dr. Rowley told these people and get them to convince them to pay us back the taxes, give us back. But they didn't just say, okay, well, we go start paying taxes. They said, right, how much years we all didn't get taxes for? Right. Take that back retroactive. So you get that. Before anything there, we'll do a money transfer and thing, and we'll send that money to the central bank for you all. So we got our money. On top of that, here what? I put in an additional couple $1 billion because we come in to drill and invest. And Dr. Rowley is a good leader. Everybody talking about potholes and, you know, that they're making up things. Most of them don't travel. Because if it's a traveler, we'll see like places like St. Vincent, Grenada, Barbados, Jamaica. You know, if they travel, they would see certain part of New York. Up to yesterday, I was talking to a friend. But we on video thing. They're driving the car, and all of a sudden, I see the shaking up thing. And I say, well, I'm the pothole. I say, it's a pothole. He say, yes, I sure I've been something under the car. You know? So I said, I wish I had this tape that thing to send to some of these MSA them on thing and talking about pothole. And most of the pothole and them that they be complaining about. And if you look at the area, you ask yourself, what the hell the corporation in them area doing? Because they have no money to fix them roads, but they have the money to thief out of the corporation. And they're not blaming them, they blame central government. But anyhow, that's not what I'm talking about. Talk about sticking in the fact that Dr. Rowley is such a great leader. So Dr. Rowley was able to do all these things and get it done. But he's very fair because in turning the economy around, to carry it forward and to have it sustainable, meaning that you need to go into new projects and other things that we don't remember because Manning was going to do the smelter plant and that crashed. Right? And then 5 years, 3 months and 14 days after that, he come back in. Things change. There's a lot of bills to pay. I don't have no money in anything to pay my public servants. I don't have all that. So things change. Dr. Rowley is able to convince the Chinese and them to hold out a string now. They'll get all their money. Now that the Chinese and them seeing what is going on, they're starting to turn the screws a little bit because they want the money. They know the money sure. They know the money sure. And they know they'll get the money with interest. But also what they're looking at is to kill Dr. Rowley to see what new projects that they have that we don't know yet. It's not out yet. That they can get piece of the action. So they will come with some kind of deal. I do not know. I don't sit in cabinet, so I can't say what it is Dr. Rowley will do. But I'm saying is that good and prudence managing is where we see it. And if you have to manage prudent, You can't be giving away money and don't turn a blind eye to contracts overpriced and then for taking it to 30 and 20% cut back on the money. You're billing the interchange at crib. You have your contract partners and then you get involved as a minister. You saying, well, okay, this one will thing, I'll go share it up, so I'll go thing. All right. It's almost $250 million available. Yeah, what? I go organize. 500 million. So when all the go split up, so he will keep quiet, that one will keep quiet, all the other thing there, but out of the $250 million, I get cut back in that too, because if it had a share, the party had to get a little fixed, because remember the party needs to run. So part of the crooked money that they're stealing, it going back in the party, because they are the party, eh? So it's logical to think about that. And all this other thing. But when Dr. Rowley came in for only the first thing he do and look at it, when they go back and we think we do the contracts. When the contracts and them come back in, it's half the price that the money that they allocated to UNC allocated to build that interchange was able to give us one down in Diego Martin and ease some of that traffic in the start going down into Carnage. So it's so we seeing growth, we seeing things, and further and in the future. You'll have to do something with the Carnage main road, go straight on into Chaguaramas. Because the road is too narrow, and if a bus stall or a truck stall, it has caused real traffic. But I know a causeway was a good way. I drove on the causeway in Jamaica that the Chinese built for them. The Chinese come and build it and everything, and they had to pay to use it, but it saved you a lot of traffic if you're moving from Spanish Town, and if you want to go straight down in the heart of Kingston, you could use that. You just pay a toll, or you buy one of them tickets that you use, and then you have access there. And on top of it, there are no speed limit. You know, because in downtown Kingston and all about each policeman you see in a squad car on a motorbike, all of them have speed gun, and they love to get a ticket. All of them don't get no chance at all. So I mean, there's a lot of things that we could talk that, but I've seen within 2015 to now, the 7 years that people say nothing happened and the place dead. How come nothing happened? All they see it, that is all their business. All they don't want to open all their and see it, or you don't want to just lie. That is all their business. At the end of the day, what I'm going to see going to happen now, and I'm sure this is going to happen. You know what's going to happen? Petro-Caribbean will come back in the Caribbean, because the United States will lift the sanction to allow Caribbean countries to purchase the cheap gas from Venezuela, and then we could probably buy the gas from Venezuela and it come back to the pumps and back in our pockets. We will save. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Dominic,
yes,
no, agree, no, it's nice for people to call in and have contribution and thing, but they cannot be spending long and spending more than 5 and 10 minutes, because it's other people want to get in a little contribution as well. So I think it's only fair that you should at least give a time limit to people who call in, because a lot of people want to call in and give contribution, and this guy, he constantly do this every single time. No, nothing wrong with him giving contribution, but at the end of the day, make it short and to the point, you understand? I look at listening.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
What can I say? Some people have a lot to say. Yeah, but we can sometimes we just keep it succinct at times. But anyway, 7701763. Yes, Florence, I found Crocro's song. I found where I had it hidden. So 7701763. Let me say good morning to Mr. Chance. Good morning to Brian. To Ms. Marilyn Gordon. Good morning to you. To Mr. Neil Personal, who I met on Saturday as well, and also listens. Alicia Alman de Roche says she wants to hear Rowley Jr. and Barataria. Well, I haven't. Well, I don't know if they are aware of this platform. So if anybody knows them, you can please feel free to share with them so that they can join us. Their contributions have always been greatly appreciated. Let me see here. Who else we have? All right. see. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I want to talk to Kazo. Kazo, if I get your Facebook Live, and when I call, you can tell me that. But you're not running the show. I mean, when you call into, you don't do the same thing. Tired here, you're doing the same thing. So don't argue when people think that. Allow people to make the contribution. Have patience now.
Thank you, sir. All right. Let me see if I have it there. All right. So let me play this song for you, right? This is from Crow Crow. Now, you know Crow Crow is a master. Let me get this here. Send that. All right, let me take this call before I play it. This one. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Dominic.
Good morning, sir.
Oh boy, I finally get my call. You know, I am tired with the whole stupid narrative that all the PNM do nothing for black people. Let me give you a little listen. I hope it's not much. If you can assessment, that will be happy too. We have Gate, we have White Up. What else again? They have Remember Hype?
Yes.
We have Mile at My Path. We also have the training program. We also have what you call Alta. Are going good?
Yeah.
Right. Once again, too. Yeah. I think recently there was some program when the country was on lockdown. I think White Up for some kind of retraining course via online. Are going good?
Yes.
Yes, online courses, foreign courses. Right? You gotta get certified. And of course the recent thing with Mr. Foster Cummins, the farm project. Right? Also the fact that the PNM do nothing for 6 years, they must see what about all those so-called gas fields that they built up? All those plants that set up down Point 14, Point Jesus. They do nothing for the last 60 years, right?
Yes.
What about saving Caroni, 1975? Save a lot of workers from unemployment there. They forget about that. What about the recent thing I talk about? The one in this place that was supposed to close down, this paper factory.
Yes.
Yeah, and they do nothing. You know what's going on? You know what causing that bacchanal? You see those people who was born in the 1990s and 2000s? Them are the problem makers, them are the troublemakers, you know, Dominic.
Yes.
And the irony is that they have access to technology, or they could do the research via their phone. And they're saying that the authorities didn't do nothing for them, but they get trained up by these stupid TikTokers and Tinder and these so-called Facebook influencers. Them are the troublemakers. So Dominic, like I say, continue doing your work. We have a lot of things. I just feel sorry for this younger generation because like some of them, like they can't remember the days Mr. Manning and Pastor Pandey. You have a good day.
You too. All right, so let me play this one. You know, I found it humorous. I don't know. But I'm just saying. So, let's see here.
Association, it's high time all you take a stand. Make a firm and serious distinction for who is man and who is woman. All you man try is malnutrition, but all you sit down, they like all your dumb. Pararat go New York and he buy a child. Come back say no, he's the mom. This is the best. This is the best. Where the hell Pararat them doing? A mother's milk is when they depriving. I pray to God the baby and dead. Was I no for sure that can be breast. When a woman breastfeed a baby, she and the baby just form a bond. Sometimes the baby feeling sickly. This the left breast is sleeping on. Oh God. But recently you're trying to tell me all you could do without breast. So when the baby sick and looking for carrots, I think I hear on you on a chest. Guys, this is the best friend. When the hell Father them doing, and mother's milk is when they depriving. I pray to God the baby and them, but I don't for sure you them. Find your place, you was christened a man. You wasn't born with mammary gland, so don't vex with this Calypsonian. For my fact, you are hoping. God make every man with a piggy. He say go forth and multiply sacredly. You just flash like fire, you have nothing to suck. And want to take away the woman work. And all you know.
Crow at his best. Breastfed is best for it. Oh Lord have mercy. Let me see who else we have here. Says Angela says the link was shared to numerous times on Rowley Jr. and he never came on, never once. Okay. And I don't know. Hello, good morning.
Caller.
Welcome.
Right? It's something kind of trouble me this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
A young man calling just now.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, what he was saying is very important for the hearer, the listeners, right?
Yes.
However, somebody coming to talk about it taking too long and all this stuff. Papi, the guy was informative. He was informative. He did a beautiful job at putting forward things that happening. You don't call and try to bring on the man. What is that? What is that? That has to do with the moderator. How Dominic do the program, and the guy was very informative. And there's a foreign caller.
Yes.
Come on, man. Stop doing them thing, man. Stop doing them thing, man. Let us build the nation together. That's what you need. Papi, I like how you're calling and made your point and continue. Very, very, very good information. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you, sir. There was a foreign caller. So we're broadcasting all over the world. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
I like this song. Dominic, we the voters, especially those who are in favor of the PNM, People's National Movement, have to be very careful.
Yes.
Because even though this Moody's statement would have come out yesterday, even up to yesterday morning, Doma's president, Mr. Aboud, was downplaying a lot of the things that are happening in the country, but he was really asked about the water situation and so on, because when the main had to be repaired, it affected a lot of people, and he moved it from 250 to over 400,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
He may have been right. I don't know. I don't know where that particular main, but it looks as if it's affected mainly the east-west corridor, and it had to be repaired. And what he indicated was that Water said that they did not have that size and type of mean in stock, and I don't know what, but they repaired it.
Mm-hmm.
And people are beginning to get back water and so on. But he went into other areas, about talking about the hospitals and getting some things done, surgeries done and so on. And he went all over the place and just talking about that he advised Marlon Hopkins to bring Roger Hussein to talk about the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. So Dr. Roger Hussein is the same fella, Mr. Aboud, who got a contract to write something when the UNC under Botawari was there and was paid $2 million. We would have never known about it unless the Dwen, as you call him, the now Minister of Finance, had indicated same in the Parliament. You understand? So everybody have their own favorites. Everybody want, everybody crying down the government because they find, the government is shelling out the crumbs for everybody. You understand? So you don't work, just take crumbs and that's it, and the country will run.
But when it is you are at negative, I think you were triple B negative or something like that in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And the UNC was telling us everything was okay. Everything was all right. That the upstreamers were doing a turnaround. Not knowing that they had lied to us. Not knowing that there was no money in the treasury. They may have no problem with that. They still continue to borrow. Because for the last 3 months, a certain individual who was a minister of housing went to the then minister of finance and said, listen, I want to get $500 million. And he told him, well, we don't have any money. So he went and he took out 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months loan for us to pay back and borrowed it. Right? Saying that here people who contractors are going to fix road, repair certain road that never. We're still waiting to know where those roads are. But they get money, they get checks. That was said by Stuart Young very early in the Prime Minister Dr. Rowley's when he got into office in 2015. But what's literally happening in Trinidad and Tobago, and there were many things that were, Dominic, you read it out, the kind of money that the UNC got between 2010 and 2015 from oil alone. You didn't even talk about gas yet. You didn't even talk about manufacturing. And I want to ask you a question, where is the $97 billion? Because what did they spend it on? If it is they borrowed money to build the hospital, to build the cycling bedroom, to build the aquatic center, what did they do with that money? And they must tell us, and people must ask these type of questions. They got billions and billions of dollars and they just kept raising it. At one time, they left the subsidies as it was. At one time, according to Dr. Rowley, they paid $7 billion in gas subsidy in one fiscal year. And these are some of the issues that Moody spoke about just yesterday in their statements. And when people believe that, hey, according to Mr. Moody, things that's better in America, how great America is doing and so on, you're paying taxes in America, but you won't talk about that. You wouldn't talk about it. But I don't want to stay too long. There's a lot to say. I thought your narrative this morning was fantastic. There's a lot to talk about. And I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago something. We need to vote. Because we do not want to get these people as Philip going into 2025. Because the first thing they're going to do, because with all this money that has disappeared and it's out there somewhere, they are going to downgrade our dollar. It will no longer be 6.8 not to 1. It will be 10 to 12 to 1. And there's where we can see where value grow. So I am warning Trinidad and Tobago, please, only be careful. That is what they are going to do off the bat, outside of firing certain people in strategic positions and putting their people to ensure that all those who before the court that matters can't finish. That this DPP ain't doing nothing. You want to tell me a man on $1 million bail for a certain... Where is that car? Does the owner still have that car driving about Trinidad and Tobago? Or has that car been confiscated until the matter is completed?
Good question.
Where is that vehicle? Anybody asking that question? Or is it being driven about all over Trinidad and all down south? Where the man from? But nobody asking these questions. Court matters not finishing. They're getting a start, yes, but they're not concluded. Why is that? Anybody asking that question? But all you want to go and put back Kamala because Dr. Rowley don't care about me and Dr. Rowley give me nothing. Well, you listen to False Street and the rest of them and you will see exactly where barley grow. If you make that mistake and play lazy next month on the 14th and don't go out there and vote. We need to vote. Thank you very much, Dominic. There's more to say, but I'll say that's all I have to say for now. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Do not take chain up from these people telling her they don't go and vote. Cambridge Analytica, we were told. What did Cambridge Analytica said it? The plot was to what? To tell the African children, don't vote. But the East Indian children would do what their parents tell them and they would go out and vote. And now we see it's playing itself. Rowley ain't do nothing for you. Rowley don't like black people. Rowley is a Oreo. Rowley only doing thing for the 1%. we're only making the 1% richer. And as I always say, the evidence is to the contrary. Right now, the Ministry of Health, the new headquarters is almost complete around the Savannah there, just opposite the Queen's Park Savannah next to the hospital. Almost complete. You know what that means? The 800,000 a month that they've been paying for that building that they've been occupying on Park Street for the longest while, close to $10 million a year, will be no more. Whoever owned that building, so-called, that's money out of their pocket. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, sir, morning.
Yes, Dominic. Yes, I heard you talk about Cambridge Analytica again.
Yes.
And I know it brings to mind something. We had a connected us, eh? Notice that Mr. Gary, Mr. Griffith is obsessed with this thing about statistics and data.
Mm-hmm.
You have to say, why is he obsessed with that? And when I think about it, it reminds me of Mr. Wiley and the information talking about his company is obsessed with data too. So is there something that Mr. Gary Griffith knows that we don't? And there's a reason why a person decided to join up with Gary Griffith, decided to join up with Gary Griffith. Does he have some kind of machinery associated with Cambridge Analytica? These are the questions we have to ask. And we had to ask, why is it certain Africans who we call cockroaches decided to join up with them?
Yesterday was yesterday.
Think about it. Yeah, think about it, Dominic. I see a pattern here. No? If people don't see that, then we understand why is it he dismissed the case. The Cambridge Analytica thing the case was closed. And you're going after the guy with the pink hair. But he is obsessed with data and he's obsessed that his party is a party in the country. Think about it. I see a connection, you know. If people don't see it, you have a good day. I hope they go matter people open their eyes. You have a good day.
You too. I don't think the Gomatin people will be fooled. Right? As we said before, the NTA is a proxy for the UNC. Right? It's just a backdoor way of them getting back into the Gomatin Corporation, Borough Corporation now. So after the 14th of August, they will have a mayor of Diego Martin for the first time. So we will see how that goes. Right? But do not be fooled, people. Don't take that chin up. There are opportunities out there. I've always said, and I keep saying, it will be very difficult for any PNM administration to do anything, introduce any sort of programs that is specifically geared towards persons of African descent, because the UNC will take the government to court and claim discrimination, as they always do. Even where discrimination does not exist, leave it up to them to find it, to go to the Equal Opportunities Commission and the courthouse to say it's a discriminatory practice, and therefore the court needs to strike it down. And then what the government has to do, see it time after time after time. Again, and the UNC cannot afford for the PNM to do anything to solidify, as they believe, African support. So they come up with all kinds of machinations. From, look at the cabinet. You don't have enough Africans in the cabinet, or that the plum positions in the cabinet belongs to the non-Africans and all of that. And you have people coming on social media and talking this nonsense, talking this rubbish. Is either Dr. Rowley is a racist or he isn't? Depending on who talking and which side of the bed they woke up on, they will come and tell you he's a racist. But he's not a racist today, he's a racist tomorrow, he's not. Make up all your mind. Hello? Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah. No, and I've got to say it because, first of all, let me take this opportunity to apologize to the caller with his contribution. It was not intention to really disparage your contribution. All I was a bit concerned about is the length of the time. Because remember, despite all contributions are valuable, but remember, it's other people who be complaining on the lives, they try to call in and they can't get you. So I am not saying that you just stop your contribution, right? I am just saying that you should just limit it or get to the point and maybe deal with it one time and move on, right? So if you take it anyway, Pops, I humbly apologize. I stand corrected, right? But Dominic, what you just said, these people that want to say that Dr. Rowley and the PNM is race, and the race beating, and the race beating, and the race beating, right? Now, who had this SOE in 2011, and in which areas that the opposition leader would have put the SOE, right? And this is thing that people have to really take into perspective, right? When that NTA leader was commissioner of police, we say, one shot, one kill. We got kill them cockroaches. The same cockroaches today that walking in foul party have no place in foul party. And they're coming to me now for my vote. But here it is. I know people in Diego Martin better than that. You understand? I know people in Point 14 better than that, because I see Pep now trying to make some inroads in points. But we know Point people, we know Diego Martin people better than them. So guys, do what you have to do. And Pops, don't take it the wrong way. As I love all contributions are welcome on this platform. I have no discrimination. But the point is, it's just at least get to the point and let me deal with it there and then. Right? I'm only good program locked on this thing.
Thank you, sir. Right, so it is 9 o'clock. How time flies when it is that we are having fun. There was an article I wanted to read, but I think I will save that for Thursday. So there's a possibility that I may be on another platform this evening, but before it is confirmed, so well, I would just make the announcement here. We're supposed to be having a new program, a television program on Synergy TV on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 8 to 10 p.m. called The Real Issues with Dominic Romain. So it's supposed to be starting today, but I just have to get some confirmation. If not, it will be tomorrow night on Synergy TV. If you're on Flow, I think it's channel 112 or something like that. I don't know. And I'll check it. But anyway, yeah. So once I get the confirmation, there'll be a new television program, Synergy TV, 8 to 10 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The Real Issues with Dominic Romain, and so I will get more details on it today with respect to. I think they have the facility to take calls and so on. We'll be discussing issues of local government and other issues, but that is the most topical issue right now. We try to be getting guests such as ministers, Mr. Al-Rawi and others to come in and talk about local government and all of these different things. Yeah, so you can tune in. So once I get the confirmation, we'll put it up on the Debunking UNC Live's Facebook page. But if not tonight, most certainly tomorrow night we will start. Yeah, so you will see me more than on Tuesday, Tuesday, and Sunday. Tuesday morning and then Tuesday night again. So it's a run, but it's we need to get the word out by any means necessary. So as you say, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Yes, Selena Kwashi says talk that 91.9. Right. Thank you so much. So Judy Bowen says she will be locked on. Bristol says give me the link. Once I get it, I'll let you know. Yeah, so I said I'll just confirm. I have to confirm with somebody this morning whether it's going to be on this evening, because we were supposed to have a guest for the first installation. So just to confirm that, but if not, tomorrow evening for sure, tomorrow night. So enjoy the rest of your day, folks. I have some work to do, and yes, we will chat. If not tonight, tomorrow, and then on Thursday morning again. So Charmaine Superville says, congrats, my brother. Spread the word. We need to hear it now more than ever. Yes. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Point Kumana Sharon. Thank you. Sedana says, what the devil meant for evil, it turns out for good. Indeed. Most welcome, Ruth, Alicia. Yes, indeed. Yes. All right. So we will chat possibly later tomorrow, folks. So enjoy the rest of your day. I am out.